My name's Alan. Welcome to the information session for the virtual information day for SBM at HKUST today. I'm very happy to be here. So I am the Associate Dean in charge of the undergraduate program. Today, I'm very happy that you can join us and we can go through some of the important features of our program and why it is such an attractive program for you. In addition to me, you will also hear from two of our current students. One is Suyash and one is Catalina, and I will leave it to themselves to introduce later on. So let's go ahead and take a look at our graduate replacements. Here are some of the statistics for our graduate replacement from the previous year. We're very pleased to see that our graduate placement have found their ways and excel across many different sectors. About a quarter of our graduates are in accounting, auditing, and taxation. A quarter are working in banks and finance sectors, a quarter in administration and management, and the remaining in marketing, sales, education, and other areas. Over 68% of our graduates, you can see from the previous year, received more than 2 job offers. Our graduates are well received by the employers. So if you take a look at the Global Employability Survey, we are ranked as number 10 in the world in terms of employers' rating of our graduates. And in this ranking, we are very proud that we are actually the #1 schools in Asia. Okay. Now, I will introduce you a little bit about our alumni. Here, I would like to give an example of them. One is Johannes Joeger. He's a German student. He graduated from our BBA program in Global Business and Information System in 2017. Now, when he was at UST, he had a very strong interest in technology. So he found his passion in hacking, coding, programming. He was very active in hackathon competitions. He was a member of our robotic team. He joined partnership programs with Cyberport. He did internships in Sao Paulo, Brazil at a German high-tech IT company. HKUST helped him develop his potential to the fullest. And I remember that he was a student actually in my managerial accounting class back in 2014. And I went back and checked his grades. He did very well in class participation. He got a full mark in that. We bring top talented students from different fields. And this is where Joanne met his co-founder of his company, Plain Exchange. So initially, he started a project with Long Heng, which is another HKUST student, major in computer science, in summer of 2015. Now, the project evolved into his first startup, Plain Exchange. And their startup stood up from about 10,000 participants from all around the world and was crowned the best startup by 500 startups. He then started another project, Hack Horizon, in 2016. And he's now authorized to co-build their innovation programs. In addition to our campus environment, Hong Kong itself offers tremendous opportunity for innovators. As Joanna said in one of the interviews, in Hong Kong, the startup ecosystem is in general undergoing explosive growth. Its geographical location make it an epic center for international travel. It's within 5 hours, you can reach 50% of the world's populations. Okay. Now, our theme this year is Futurepreneur. So let me explain a little bit about this wordplay over here. It's future plus entrepreneur. So we aim to grow our students to be the best, to be the next entrepreneur. Now, our interpretation of entrepreneur is not as narrow. It's more than just starting a business. We want our student to be their own entrepreneur, to be their own master, in a sense that they find their passion and their path in life. Now, our school is here to help them build their bright future, find where you want to be and where you want to develop your career. Now, this personal entrepreneur requires knowledge, insight, and the right attitude. And at HKUST Business School, we do not dictate what you ought to study or do upon graduation. Instead, we help you identify and develop your talent to the fullest for your own future. Okay. At HKUST, we have an interdisciplinary curriculum with the right amount of breadth and depth to facilitate you to make the best decision. In our school, we emphasize application-based learning so that students can integrate their knowledge with real-world situations. Now, that keeps one's foot on the ground and help develop the right attitude towards problem solving. Now, we also emphasize business and corporate exposures, providing internship and other opportunity to students, where you will hear a little bit from our own students later on. In terms of curriculum, we have a very flexible credit-based curriculum structure. All of our majors curriculum requirements are based on credits. Now, this type of curriculum gives the greatest flexibility to students to customize their program with a wide array of majors and minor choices. Now, starting from the first year, students can take their university common core and elective, as well as business core classes to get a broad foundation of different fields in business. After year 2, students will have settled into a major and maybe even a minor program, and then you started to take more advanced classes in those major and achieve greater understanding and deeper understanding in these majors. Now, this flexible curriculum allows students to select major, additional major, and or minors offered by the business school, and some of the minors from science, engineering, and also social science as well. Okay. Now, our faculty constantly review and update our program curriculum and teaching materials. For example, we recently introduced new academic options such as the FinTech option for the RMBI program, the accounting analytic option for the accounting program, and we're planning to offer the HR option for the management program. Now, students can also develop a more interdisciplinary education by collaborating with the programs in other schools at HKUST. Now, in our teaching, we often use real-life examples. I used to work in an investment bank, Lehman Brothers, in Wall Street for a couple of years before I joined UST. When I teach my accounting classes, I often refer back to the real companies that I work with in the bank or other current events in the business world. Now, what if you want to get an exposure to research? Now, we have undergraduate research opportunity program, UROP, and also research-based capstone courses for students in many programs. Now, business school is very, very strong in research, and we got a lot of collaborations with companies around the world. We recently established, for example, an advanced tax lab with Ernst & Young, where we're working on machine learning and AI applications in the tax domain. We are also working with blockchain companies in Hong Kong. Actually, at the end of this month, we have a blockchain case competition that HKUST is co-hosting with one of the largest blockchain company in China. Okay. Now, with that, I would like to give it to our own students here. And if you want to hear more from them, and if you have more questions, feel free to ask them later on. Raj?
Yes. Hi, hi everyone, I'm Suyash. I'm currently a third and final year undergraduate student studying at HKUST. So as I said, I'm a third and final year student at HKUST. This is because HKUST was very generous to actually grant me 24 out of the 120 credits upon my admission. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm originally from Pune, which is a city in India. I've spent roughly 10 to 12 years of my life out there. And for the rest of it, I've actually been in Hong Kong. So I did my primary education from Pune and came back for boarding school for 2 years in Pune as well. Other than that, I've completed the IGCSE and IB. So moving as to why I came to UST, a big factor was obviously its crazy reputation, but alongside the very high quality of education alongside that. So when I first came into HKUST, I actually got the chance to participate in multiple competitions, whether they be social innovation competitions or case competitions. I personally felt that I had an exponential learning curve through the whole process. So recently, actually, just 2 months ago, I co-founded my own startup. It's a sustainable food upcycling startup alongside my classmates at HKUST, where we actually use leftover bread and convert it to beer. We'll be in the market in January 2021, and we're looking forward to serving all of you very soon. So the hustle for the startup is something that HKUST personally prepared me very well for, because from the start itself, it kind of provided a competitive edge and a very nurturing atmosphere at the same time, such that I could work harder and smarter and actually gain lifelong skills and knowledge at the same time. So as a co-founder of a startup and a 19-year-old student, I didn't have the financial or the industry knowledge when it comes to the real world. But the HKUST Entrepreneurship Center actually provided my team and myself with the initial financials to help register my company, provide us with the mentorship, recognition. And it's actually benefited us a lot because those are the stakeholders that we're actually in conversation with today. And as an entrepreneur, the HKUST fund is actually very generous. It has a very big sum of money, I think about 50+ million Hong Kong dollars. And they help each and every upcoming entrepreneur to help move forward by providing them with resources, interns, and actually just giving them the starting push to move from one level to the next. So personally, we received the Entrepreneurship Acceleration Fund, the EAF grant, which helps startups to actually cover their initial costs, move forward, and just gain the mentorship to actually understand the market and move forward from there. So alongside this, HKUST obviously has other competitions as well, such as the CINO $1 million competition and the Bizacathon. So it actually allows you to start developing your own idea and actually working on it further. At the same time, it also has different societies within Hong Kong which kind of collaborate with social organizations such as Enactus, Halt Prize, all of which give you a platform to actually present your idea and move forward from there on. So of course, this personally has helped me a lot and helped me go forward. And again, that's why HKUST Business School. So as a student who was very certain that he wanted to do economics as a career and work towards the liberalization of trade, I actually gained so much knowledge and maturity when it came to HKUST. Initially, something I was quite surprised with, but actually HKUST had a very strong foundation when it comes to the business world. Skills that personally I thought wouldn't be important, like accounting, finance, or even business management, ended up actually being a solid bedrock of the skills and knowledge that I possess today. And it helps me so much, just both as a person and a student, whenever I perform any actions today. The high quality in terms of whether it be economics, finance, or accounting, HKUST is consistently ranked top 5 in Asia and top 35 in the world, which for me personally is not very surprising because the immense amount of knowledge and skills I've learned from these courses, I can personally see the difference. Lastly, as a person who's better at learning most from discussion-based and interactive classrooms, I feel that HKUST actually provides an interdisciplinary and blended learning system where you can actually learn, interact, rather than memorize per se. Overall, I'm glad I'm at HKUST, and I hope to see all of you at HKUST very soon. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me during the Q&A session. For now, I'll pass it on to Catalina for her to share her own experience. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. So a little bit about myself. My name is Catalina, and I'm currently in my final year at UST. I'm majoring in Operations Management and Finance. I came from Indonesia, and my high school curriculum is the Indonesian High School Diploma, or SMA Ujian Nasional. And today I'm just going to share about my experience as a business student in UST. So as an international student who only speaks really basic Mandarin and does not even know a word in Cantonese, I was pretty scared that I can't get myself any work experience and prepare myself well enough for my future grad job. The working culture in Hong Kong is also way more competitive compared to my home country. And it was something that I needed to adapt myself to. However, I'm pretty grateful that UST has a really strong comprehensive career support for students. 90% of UST students have internships experience before graduating, and the university holds a lot of career events. And through attending these events and meeting career advisors, I was able to prepare myself for job applications and learn how to do interviews, case studies, or presentations better. And the picture on the right is my friend and I having dinner with our career mentor. UST Business School also offers a career mentorship program where I was introduced to my mentor, who is an executive working in a private bank, which is a field I'm interested in. Through having a close relationship with a mentor, I have a more personalized guidance in my career direction from a person who actually knows about the industry and have the passion to help. Our uni also has strong collaboration with corporates. Companies search for talents in our uni through posting their job opportunities in UST's job board, and they often hold recruiting events where students can get familiar with their companies and network with the professionals. So moving on to my internship experience, in my first year, I did a marketing internship at Mama Helpers Hong Kong. The company is a LinkedIn-like mobile app that connects employers, domestic helpers, and agencies with each other. From this opportunity, I improved my skills in promoting the brand through digital and conventional channels and communicating with clients. In my second summer, I also did an internship at Hong Kong Trade Development Council. The experience taught me how to screen Hong Kong businesses to partner with their overseas partners. And I've also performed market research to prepare for the Belt and Road Summit 2019. The event successfully involved over 500 business leaders coming from more than 30 countries. And I'm really happy to be involved in an event of such scale. So UST also has a lot of global exposure opportunities, whether it's semester exchange or short-term exchange in the summer and winter break. And you can even enroll in virtual courses during the semester offered by our partner universities. In the beginning of this year, I went for an exchange program at Ivy Business School at Canada for 4 months. It was a really exciting experience, although the program was cut short due to the pandemic. I went to see the Niagara Falls, tried skiing, saw hockey game for the first time, and traveled to nearby cities like New York and Vancouver. I also took some really useful classes and met very, very ambitious professors and classmates during my exchange, as the university is one of the best business schools in Canada. I will definitely miss all the unique experiences I had, but the real highlight would be the great friends I made during the program. By simply living together, just hanging out and going traveling with them, I gained a lot of life and learning experience that are truly, truly invaluable. And last July, I also had a short virtual summer exchange at Tsinghua University. Well, it's really unfortunate that the program becomes virtual instead of held in person in Beijing. I still had the opportunity to take some really insightful classes about the driving factors of the future globalization through the Chinese perspective and collaborate with really bright students from around the world. Tsinghua University is also one of the best universities in China, and this goes to show that UST partners with the best institutions around the world where students can explore their interests. So in my opinion, having just textbook knowledge is not enough in today's age. We have to be really comfortable connecting with new people from different cultures and be able to approach challenges from multiple perspectives. So it's really great that around 50% of each cohort in UST go on exchange studies with UST's 140 exchange partners, and 80% of UST students have overseas learning experience. And so this brings us to the end of my sharing. Thank you for your time and attention, and I will pass the time to our next presenter, Professor Alan Wang, to explain about the admission overview. Thank you.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I will just give you a brief review of the admission here at HKUST, different qualifications, etc. And then we'll go into Q&A and try to answer the questions that you guys raised during the talk over here. Okay, so okay. Now at HKUST, we have a very multicultural business school in Asia. In terms of our faculty, about 20% of our faculty are from North America, 5% of our faculty are from Europe. We have 5% of faculty from India, And the remaining ones, we have 40% from mainland China, 10% from Hong Kong, and the remaining from other places around the world. And the diversity is not only in our faculty, you can also see that out of the 3,400 undergraduate students that we have here, we have over 35 countries, nationals, and in pretty much every continent that you can think of other than Antarctica. In terms of admission categories, 60% of our students are coming from Hong Kong local students, but as you can see, more than 25% of our students are coming from international qualifications. Now, within the international qualifications, about 40% of the students are using IB to apply to us, about 27% using SAT and AP courses, about 9% using the British system, 6% using the Canadian system. And if you have other type of admission qualifications, you are also welcome to apply to us, and we'll evaluate a lot of national qualifications here as well. Now, let me tell you a little bit about our own hybrid admission models. For the hybrid admission models, what I'm talking about over here is that for our students, about 65% of our students come in via the school-based admission, and the remaining students come in via the program-based admission. So what does it mean by school-based admission? It means that when the students come into HKUST, they are admitted to the business school, but they are not committed to a specific major. Okay, so in the first 2 years, when they are taking the university common core classes and the business school's common core classes, they got a sample of the important majors in businesses, different programs, what is marketing, what is accounting, etc. Right? And then after 1 or 2 or 3 semesters, then the students can join what we call a major selection exercises, and then they can select which major they are more interested in. Okay, so 65% of our students come in through the school-based admission. The remaining 35% come in through the program-based admission. Now, what does it mean by program-based admission? It means that when the students come in, they got an offer into a specific program. For example, ECOF, management, accounting, finance, etc. So these students come in the first 2 years, they pretty much take the exact same class as the school-based admission students to get them a broad foundation of business school, different type of programs, and different knowledge in the business school. And then they can either choose, if they think that they are not satisfied with their major, they're more interested in something else, they can choose to join the major selection exercises to change their major, or they can choose to omit the major selection exercises and stick with whichever major that they apply for and got admission into. So these are the 2 routes, the school-based admission and the program-based admission. Now, it depends really on whether you know for sure which major or which program you are interested in. If you know for sure that you are interested in certain programs, then you can put that program as your top choice in the admission. But if not, and you just want to get a sample of different programs before you decide, then you can join school-based admission here at UST. Now, here are the boundary scores and the subject requirements for a few of the qualifications that we see the most often here. The boundary scores here are for school-based admission. Okay, so the 65% of the students come in, and which is our baseline. The admission scores for individual programs varies, and it will be higher than the school-based admissions. So for IB diploma, it's about 34 or above out of 45. For British GCEAL, it's the grade AAB or above. For SAT and AP, it's SAT reasoning of 1320 or above, and 3 SAT subjects or AP subjects. For our other specific programs, the requirement can have additional requirement for BBA ECON and BBA Finance. It's for the IB, they should have HL in mathematics or SL in mathematics. And for GCEAL, they should have mathematics or further mathematics. For SAT and AP, they should have SAT Math 1 or Math 2 or AP Calculus AB or AC or BC. Now, for our BSc programs, the ECOF, Economics and Finance, that is, the Q5, that's the Quantitative Finance, and our Risk Management, RMBI program. For the IB students, they're required to have HL in mathematics. They're required to have further mathematics in GCE AL, or if they are SAT or AP students, they should have SAT Mathematics 2 or AP Calculus 2. Now, here is our admission timelines. As you can see over here, our admissions has already begun last month, September 28th. Now, we are going to continue to evaluate and assess our students from November onwards. Our early round applications deadline is November 20th, and our offer will start to come out from December. Our main rounds application deadline is January 14th, and our engagement activities are in April, etc. Now, for the students that are interested in our program, you should really apply early though, as our assessment program are conducted on a rolling basis. So if you apply earlier, you are likely to receive offers earlier as well. And some of our programs require interview for admission, such as our BBA Global Business Program and the BSc Risk Management RMBI program. For other programs, interview is normally required, whereas for some admission decisions may be made without an interview. Now, here is what we have covered, and I think that we should try to start answering some questions from our audience.
Okay, Alan, this is Winnie.
Yep.
Can you hear me? Okay,
Yes.
I'm looking at the audience inquiries. I have already answered some of them, so maybe I'll go after go over the next one.
Of course.
Some applicants is asking whether we have subject requirement for entering the school. So we don't. For non-JUPAS, we don't look at any subject. So any subject we do. We just look at the overall scores, except for a few quantitative oriented programs like Bachelor of Science in Quantitative Finance or Econ and Finance. That type of program, we do require a senior math in your qualification, yes. And that is responding to Jay Chan. And some students ask whether GBA students can join 2 semesters of exchange. Alan, do you have any idea?
I know that GBA students can join 2 semesters of exchange, and for the other students, I think it's 1 semester of exchange. I also remember one of the questions earlier is about what's the GPA requirement. I think our GPA requirement is to have a cumulative GPA of 2.65 or above. Then you can exchange program. There is one more question that's from the audience that I want to address a little bit here, if I may. Which is about our, I think I still have the control of the PowerPoint here. So let me go to that slide over here, which is our learning and teaching under the COVID-19.
Yes,
yes. You can see COVID-19 has affected universities around the world. And we have been teaching online in the spring semester. Our spring semester was entirely online. And for the 4th semester, we started our first 2-3 weeks online. And after that, for most of our classes, that means classes that's less than 75 students register, we have switched to mixed mode teaching. So what does it mean by mixed mode? It means that the students can either continue to take classes online, or they can choose to come to the classrooms. Now, the students who want to continue to take classes online, they either worry about social distancing, or maybe they're stuck in their home country, for example, and cannot come to Hong Kong. So these are students that choose to take classes online, or students can come to the classroom and keep taking classes. Now, what we have found is that over 70% of the business students are satisfied or very satisfied with the technology aspect of our Zoom classes. And our teaching evaluations in the spring semester is comparable to the previous semesters. We actually have quite a lot of students that says they have been paying more attention in the classes during Zoom classes. They have more interactions with teachers, and they find it actually easier to ask questions. So unfortunately, I would say that Hong Kong has handled the COVID-19 situation relatively well compared to other parts in the world. So that's why we are able to offer mixed mode classes for the students. And as situations continue to improve, I'm sure that we'll offer more face-to-face classes compared to before.
And yes, Alan, I received another question asking the 2 students here why they make the choice to come to HKUST. Can you share a little bit about that?
Sure. So actually, I'd initially applied to 3 countries. So it's the Canada, Netherlands, and Hong Kong. But I think specifically why I chose HKUST was, so as I mentioned earlier during my talk, I used to live in Hong Kong earlier. But HKUST particularly, I think people often misunderstand and look at the Western world differently in comparison to Asia. And in terms of the reputation that HKUST has, and the quality of education that's offered is on par with the top universities all across the world. So I think that was one of the major reasons. But once I got here, I think it's also the fact that it's the interdisciplinary way of teaching and how you can, set up your own thing and, divert from what you want initially towards later. It really helps you out. So that's one reason why I think I chose HKUST over perhaps other universities around the world.
And also, Ellen, someone is asking about the scholarship situation. So do we have scholarships for non-JUPAS students?
Oh, of course, we have scholarship for non-JUPAS students. Let me see if I can have the slides over here. Is this the one that you're talking about? Yes, we offer admission scholarship for both local and non-local students. And it depends on your grades and your performance in your application. So we definitely offer scholarships. And also for yeah, and I think one of the student was asking about what if their exam is canceled, SAT exam canceled. Winnie, do you want to address that one?
Yes. As far as I know, currently not many SAT exams are canceled, but we'll look at the situation. In some of the regions, some test center may be affected. For those cases, we will look at it individually, and we will assess the overall profile and internal academic performance for those students. We'll make it flexible. Like last year, when some of the test centers cancel, we go over all the internal grades and the internal academic records of the students before we make the final decision and the overall profile. Yes.
Yeah, I will address 2 questions here very quickly. One of them is that are there credit transfer opportunity for UG programs for IB specifically? I would say definitely yes, right? I think our student also mentioned that you can transfer credits in. Yes, definitely for sure. The other question, there was a question about 2021 to 2022 year, would it be face-to-face or online? I guess everybody wants to have a crystal ball and see what would happen at that time. Nobody can tell really. It just depends on the vaccine situation and also the pandemic. So.
And someone asked about if they want to apply, whether they should put the program-based or the school-based program there. So actually you have 2 choices. When you apply, we recommend you, if you have interested programs in mind, you can put the program as your first choice, but make sure that you also put the business and management school-based choice as one of your choice or alternative choice, so that we will consider you and maximize your choice of getting into our school. Yeah. And what else?
There was a question about the number of students that we take in. That's how many Hong Kong post-secondary students that we admit to the business school last year. Winnie, you want to address that?
It differs every year, but roughly every year we take in about 840 students at least. And I would say 68 to 70% are from local Hong Kong JUPAS systems. The others are from international or mainland or from the international qualifications pool. So roughly 70% versus 30%, I would say.
Okay. And another student asked, how do they put the program choices? Winnie, if you haven't addressed that, then I would say that definitely put the program-based. If you are interested in both program-based and school-based, definitely put the program-based first and then school-based second.
Yes, and we will handle that and process the application centrally, and we'll design which offers to give the students, the applicants. Yeah.
And another question about when do students declare major? It's within the first 3 semesters.
Yes. Okay.
May I ask whether we can change our major in the second year? Yeah, yes, you can. You can definitely change major in the second year. I'm assuming that you're asking about program-based students, right? Program-based students that come in, you can go into the major selection exercises just like the school-based admission students. So yes, you can definitely change your major. There's another question about GBUS offering double major to all the students. Yes, and for all the other students, they can also have double major. Actually, I think we have more than at least more than 60% of our students are double major in the end. Right, Winnie?
We have more than 80% of students doing more than one major. Some may choose double majors, but some may choose minor in other schools as well. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. English proficiency tests are cancelled. It's not that it's significant because we are not only looking at IELTS or TOEFL, because you have your own public exam qualifications like SAT, IB. The English subjects there, the grade you get there already fulfilled our English requirement here at the university. We have a whole list of recognition of these courses on our website. You can go and check out later. Yeah.
I do see quite a lot of questions about specific program over here. If you don't know our program, we actually, after the end of this session over here, we have individual programs information, and you are definitely welcome to join those programs that you are more interested in. And if you have specific questions about those programs, be it accounting, finance, GBUS, econ finance, etc., you can ask the questions over there as well.
So I think the time is up. So maybe you can go and pick the program that you like and register for that and click that program session immediately. And for all the answers for all the questions we haven't answered here, we will email the answers back to you after this event. So no worry about that. Okay, yeah. See you.
All right. Thank you very much. And if you have more questions, feel free to email us, email our admission team, or email our student helpers over here. Thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing you here at HKUST next year. Sorry.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.